Welcome to Canada, just outside of the United States of America and home to the Canadian Grand Prix. This is mostly a street circuit, and it is a street circuit with some runoff places available. It's still very tight around this circuit. Let's take a look at your track map. It's going to be 14 turns. It'll be 2.7 miles. You will have 3 total DRS zones, and the long back straight makes for a great passing opportunity into the chicane. Here we go then. Let's take a look at your starting grid for today's race in Canada. Gabriel Borderado starts 20th, and Lance Stroll will round out in 19th. Looking at the rest of the grid, we have Pierre Gasly in 18th, Jack Doohan 17th, Isaac Hadjar starts 16th, Nico Hulkenberg 15th, Lando Norris bad qualifying 14th, Ocon 13th, Liam Lawson starts 12th, Hamilton 11th, Behrman 10th, Albon 9th, Russell starts 8th, and it's actually an all-Mercedes row there with Antonelli in 7th, Alonso 6th, Sainz 5th, Tsunoda starts 4th, and Oscar Piastri starts for 3rd, and Max Verstappen starts 2nd, missing out on pole by 17 thousandths of a second over Blake. Well then, should be an interesting race here today. We do have a small chance of rain, so that should be able to mix up the race a little bit, and this is Blake's race to lose. He really desperately needs some good points on the board if he wants to start making up some ground in this championship battle. And so, yeah. Now, before we get this race underway, I have an announcement. I will be a Mercedes driver for the next 2 years, starting next year. So, no more Ferrari. This decision was made after Spain, like a day or two after. So I will be a Mercedes driver going forward once this season ends out. If you haven't seen me, I've been driving a little bit of some Mercedes GT cars lately, and they are absolutely terrible. They don't fit my driving style at all, but whatever. Here we go then. Off to the grid. We're going to need some good parking to try and cover off Max Verstappen on the front row with us. And we get 0.2 millimeters in parking. We wait for the 5 red lights. And what will be my last races with Ferrari, for at least for now, for the rest of the season, Sainz P5, which is going to be very impressive qualifying from him. Here we go then. 2, 3, 4, and 5 lights are on. Lights out, and away we go. We do get a good reaction time in the first phase. Max Verstappen, though, he's got a good second phase on the start. He'll try to make it work around the outside. We force him slightly wide. That takes him off his line. However, we go wide into turn 2, but we maintain the lead. Lap 3, Verstappen is going to take the lead. Now we go down the inside, try to make it work, and we do very well. Here.
So we're expecting rain in about 10 to
rain
15
in
minutes.
10 to 15 minutes.
Okay, dry seem like the best tyre for now.
So that is huge. And like I said, there's a light chance of rain, and it'll likely end up hitting. However, for now, we are going to pit for dry tires. As we have to get the perfect turn in. Estimated stop time will be 2.4. Jack it up and then put the tires on. It's a 2.3.
Perfect job on the turn in there, mate. Looks like a nice stop time. We're happy with that one.
So a good stop there from our crew. We go to lap 17. Piastri actually pitted 3 laps before us, and he got a great undercut, but now we've caught up and go for the move. Here we go, then down the inside into the chicane, and hopefully don't hit the wall of champions. We don't, and we are up to P1.
Oh, mate, you made that look easy. Nice work. That's why I love working with you. Smashed it.
Here we go then, nice on the pit limiter, and it's our second pit stop. You'll notice it's raining, but it's not raining heavy enough to switch to intermediates, which I was very worried about, and I actually left it pretty late. So yeah, but it looks like we're just going to go from mediums to the end, and we cut the corner, and this could cost us. It's a 3-second time penalty for track limits. Lap 31, we're watching Esteban Ocon here. He's got his teammate behind him, and my teammate is actually in front of him, and Lewis Hamilton. Ocon spins it, and it's a red flag. And the last thing we needed has happened, and they've got it rolling too. Nothing happened on the restart. It's just a disaster. So our 3-second time penalty is going to be very bad. We have intermediates on, and you can see my driving. I was not very happy. My driving was absolutely reckless. But look who's in the lead. It's Fernando Alonso on the last lap of the race. We finished the line in P2, but where do we finish the actual race? We need points, and it's going to be P9. That's disappointing. 2 points. We don't gain anything, really, from this. Our competitors were better than us, finishing wise. That were mainly in the championship, so this does absolutely nothing for me. So next time out in Austria, which is actually my best track statistically, we need to win. And if we don't win, then that might be championship over for us, and we might have to watch the battle play out, because right now we're very far away and we need some good points. I believe we're about 60 points out, but forget about that right now. There is Fernando Alonso sharing a podium with Yuki Tsunoda and Lando Norris. What a podium that is. Fernando Alonso wins the Canadian Grand Prix. And the Wall of Champions, he didn't hit it, but this champion made it through, and Fernando Alonso. So, amazing job as they spray the champagne all over the place. What a win for Fernando Alonso and Aston Martin, coming out of absolutely nowhere, getting lucky with the red flag. So, yeah, let's take a look then at your race results. Fernando Alonso won, Yuki Tsunoda was second, Norris third, Verstappen fourth, Russell fifth. But let's look at your standings quickly. So we are 67 points out, along with Oscar Piastri, who's also 67 points out. Norris is 33 points out, and Verstappen leads. So that's pretty big. There's your race results. Hadjar got the final point. Piastri finishes 14th. Sainz was in the wreck. But until Austria, I'll see you then. And goodbye.